All right. Good morning, everyone. Just want to do a quick mic check. Want to make sure everyone can hear me okay in both chat rooms, YouTube, and in our chat. All right. Excellent. All right. Good morning. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend. Today is pretty exciting. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Obviously, with the SPY gapping down, our gappers list is huge. For those that have not seen it yet, this thing
All
is.
right. Good morning, everyone.
Just want to do a quick mic check. Want to make sure everyone. Here we go. Mute that. Yeah. So this list is just tremendous. So, hope everyone had an amazing weekend. Before we go through tackling this list, and it was we had an amazing weekend actually with the meetup as well. That was so much fun. Hey, good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing all right. How about yourself? I just heard you talking about the meetup and everybody. It sure was nice to see everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you, everybody, for the hospitality and for coming out to see us.
Yeah, it sure was a lot of fun. Again, a lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces. Ursilia was there. She's from New York. She's always in our meetups. Ryan was there as well. Nick with his two sons. It's just I can't go through the names because it'll be longer than this Gappers list. And again, just a pleasure to see people there, talk with everyone, and just kind of just share ideas, share thoughts, and have a little fun, have a little drink, and some downtime was very fun to have. So, all right, guys, let's get to it. No, before we get into this list, I mean, this market is down, pretty much 2.5 right now, 2%, almost 3. Uh, Give us some insight. What's going on here? What's happening? What's the news that might be causing some of this downturn right now?
Well, I mean, we've just been in a massive run up, and now we've got this coronavirus news. Like you said, we're down 2.5%. I don't remember the last time. It's been quite a long time since we've had a gap down this large, and it's on massive volume on the SPY. For instance, we're the SPY right now, we're sitting just shy of 4 million shares traded this morning. As a reference, that's about 10 times what we usually see on a fairly busy morning at this time. So, there's some serious panic in the markets. Coronavirus has spread. Uh, South Korea and Italy specifically are the big worries at this point. I heard that I saw a news report. I believe it was Saturday evening, that there was actually some kind of doomsday cult in South Korea that they're blaming for the spread there, that's intentionally doing what they can to send people with the virus out to get other people sick. And then there's this cluster in Italy that's pretty big and pretty nasty. So obviously, I mean, like European markets down this morning, the CAC and the FTSE and all that down like 3.5% when I saw it about 45 minutes or so ago. So just getting really nailed with this. Obviously, we're not going to be able to go through every stock on the list this morning. We'll have to be very choosy about what we pick out, base it on earnings, base it on some of these. We've got a handful of stocks here. Some of them, well, we've got gold. Gilead looks really interesting. I won't personally trade it because, as I've mentioned, I hold that in a different account. But so we're going to have to base this on earnings and some other things. And then bond yields. To talk about fear in the market, the VIX is up 32% this morning.
Yeah,
Sitting at 2257. That's usually, when we've been hovering around 12 to 14. Now we're sitting at 2257 at the moment on the VIX. So this is going to be an interesting day for sure. I'm going to be very patient. I find these days exceptionally difficult to trade when we have these massive gaps down. And the only thing really that helps even that out is just an abundance of patience to try to find stuff. Other than that, real quick, as far as we really have very little economic data. We've got a Fed speaker at 3 p.m. and then we had Chicago Fed National Activity Index come out right at the bottom of the hour 5 minutes ago. So that's what we got going on, buddy.
All right, excellent. Yeah, it's gonna definitely be exciting and weird, and we just got to be cautious. Just 1 second, guys, to make sure this is working properly. Okay, so one of the things that we also we're gonna focus, especially on the ones that are green today. Anything that's green on a day like this, we're really gonna go through all the green stocks. We don't have that many, probably about 8 or so. So we'll go through this in details, and then what we're going to do here towards the ones that are red, we're going to start from the bottom, the ones that are really gapping down quite a bit, and then kind of make our way into the middle if we can. A lot of these guys, Amazon, Baba, BP, JD, you know all of these, unless they have some significant news, they're all moving with just the market drop, right? So anything between 2% and about 4, without no significant news, we're going to try to filter those out as much as possible. All right, let's get to it. So let's start over here with ENLV, first one on our list. This one is gapping up 41%. Let's just see what it is. Okay, it doesn't look all that great on this daily. You can see it had a couple of days where it popped up nicely. What's the float on this? This could be somewhat of a low float, maybe.
371,000.
There it is. That makes perfect sense. So again, extreme low flow here, guys. This thing has run up before, though. It's not a stranger to higher price levels, as you can see here, as high as 41. Again, just one of those stocks which is 370. I try to avoid trading anything with that type of flow. So has the potential, guys, has broken out before, has actually held the breakout. Usually a lot of these stocks, they break out and they just come right back down to their normal trading range. This one held it and actually went up all the way to 46. So there is some history here, some possible potential. Is breaking out again out of this $10 range. Again, pre-market activity starting to get active. Look at the volume after 8 o'clock. So I'm going to put it down here as a possible for the low flow team. But again, guys, this is very, very low flow. It's 370. So just be cautious. We'll throw that down here and just move on to the next one. So next we have.
I'm gonna give you blanket coverage on the background on all 4 of these top gainers that are low floats. They're all on the virus.
Okay, these are all low floats on here. Yeah, they are. Look,
they're either
2.2.
The APT is the only one that doesn't. It's not a pharmaceutical drug manufacturer or whatever, and they produce PPEs, personal protection equipment. So it's been in play a ton. So that's all 4 of these, and I'll let you roll with them.
Yeah. So NNVC is one that we actually have traded before in the past. Not me personally, but the community. We have taken some trades out of this one. Again, active. Let's look at APT. APT, also another one that we have seen before in the past. And then also NAVX. So, guys, for me personally, I am not going to. NAVX doesn't look as good as the other one, so I will not put this one on my list when you have NVC trading very well, and also ENLV also with some good activity. So we're going to throw this one down here, guys. Again, they're low flow stocks. You want to be cautious, be very picky if you're going to watch these today. They do have some potential for possible breakouts. The key is you have to be very fast on these. You cannot be slow on the trigger. You have to have a good, quick reaction. So right now, all these 4 guys, ENLV and NNVC, seem to have the most volume and the best pre-market activity. What was APT? Let's just look at that one. Yeah, it's not all that great pre-market, so we'll skip that one. So I'm going to keep these 2 down here, guys, out of the ones that we have. Again, both low flow, so just be very cautious. All right, so next we have gold. We don't really trade gold, guys, but obviously this is up this morning, as you can see here. Again, not something that we usually trade a day trade on. GILD this morning. This one actually has a great pre-market activity, very active. This is one that's definitely worth watching this morning. It's one of the only stocks that's not a low flow or on this list so far that we have gone through that is green. And we have traded this one very clean in the past before. I love the pre-market activity. It's got some great volume on here, so we definitely want to have that on our list. Next, we have NEM. So NEM this morning, 150,000 shares traded. This one, what's the float? We have 532 million shares float, so that's good. Pre-market's looking okay. We have a nice pop here. And what I like about this one, guys, is that over the last couple of days, we have been doing very, very well. Broke out of this area of resistance. That's nice. And then we have a good continuation here. So this is worth watching. I think the stock is very strong. Even with the drop down of the SPY, this thing is still gapping up. So that has something to say about how strong this stock has been over the last couple of days and even this morning. So definitely worth watching. Norm, any specific news on this one today that's causing for it to still be up this morning?
Yeah, it's Dumont Mining. It's a gold miner. Price of gold and everything with this fear and people rushing out of stocks. They're going to put their money somewhere where it's safe, and gold is considered one of those safe. Gold and Tesla are considered some of those safe havens.
safe havens, right? So I definitely like the way the NEM is looking right now. We'll keep an eye on this one, guys. It's one of the best probably gold stocks related that we have at the moment. AU, this
I would
one,
say if
yeah,
you are going to pick a gold stock, I would say NEM and gold are two of the better. So
yeah,
that's why they're up so high. I mean, there's another AU's another one,
yeah,
but
it's another
I
one.
would pick myself between gold and NEM.
Yeah, because if you look at AU, guys, the reason for that also, look at how choppy this daily chart is. If you look at NEM, this one actually has a very clean daily chart. It's very strong for the last couple of days with some significant volume. Usually these stocks don't trade much. They're usually down at 1 million shares traded, even less than 5. This one has about 12 on average, so it's pretty decent size the way it's trading here. So we'll keep that on there. Next we have Mrna. So this one is it's gapping up quite a bit. It's not the best stock to trade. It can be very choppy, but this one is up 3.1. Pre-market is looking horrible, guys. This is not a great pre-market activity. 107,000 shares traded so far. So again, worth watching. Hopefully it gets better. But this stock is, again, it's one of those stocks that it's not a low flow, but it definitely trades like a low flow. This thing can move very fast and very hard, so just be very careful with this one. So we keep Mrna here. Hopefully the pre-market can get a little bit better, but it's not looking all that great right now. All right, so here's where we start getting into the red, and there's going to be a lot on here. I'm going to start from the bottom. If anything else pops up that's interesting, we'll come back and look at it, but I'm going to start from the bottom here and see which are really taking a big hit this morning. So DBLD, this morning we have down 14%, almost 13.2. Pre-market is not looking all that great. Again, just a lot of stocks not looking all that great in the pre-market. This one we have traded in the past before. We actually had it here on a breakout. I thought this was a low flow stock, but it's not. I'm showing 174.
Valid? No.
Yeah. So again, this one is up. It's down nicely. We can keep an eye on this one. DP. Next we have SPCE space, which this one, guys, this one has been trading very well, very active, right? So this morning we're taking a hit, obviously 9.9, but this is stock you definitely want to watch. We have traded towards the top here several times on possible breakouts, but this thing can move. It is down quite a bit today, but it's been a player over the last couple of days, and I've seen a great trades out of this one this morning, so we'll keep an eye on that one. AMD is taking a big hit, so let's look at some of our favorites, right? So we have AMD on here. It's got serious volume, guys. AMD is going to be a great stock. If the SPY goes one way or the other, AMD is going to follow. It is very clean. It has a lot of volume, so you can find the spread is always going to be nice and tight on this one. So AMD is a good one to watch in this type of situation, right? Some of our favorites. We have Nvidia. Same thing with Nvidia. I'm not going to put all these on here. I'm going to keep AMD. Let's just take a look at Nvidia. Again, same similar situation here. If you like to trade a higher price stock, Nvidia is one that you want to watch. I'm also just I'm gonna freeze this for a bit here, so it doesn't move on me. So we can mark these down. So I'm gonna freeze it so it doesn't add anything else, right? So trade ideas, you can right click, hit freeze, and it'll stay this way so things don't shuffle around on you. So or I get anything else added. I don't think we need anything else on this list. So we got AMD. Nvidia is gonna be the same situation. Tesla we're going to watch for sure. Let's keep Tesla on here. I think Tesla is one of those stocks that you definitely want to have on your list, so we'll throw that on there. ENPH, so we got Tesla. LK, before we get to LK, MU, Roku, where's BYND, Apple? Apple should be on here. Where's Apple?
Apple is. It's. I think it's
a little higher.
Yeah, it was in here. It's right there. It's at 3.8% down, so it's a ways higher up there.
All right, so let's look at Apple. So all these stocks, guys, again, I don't think you need to watch all of them, right? So out of Roku, out of MU, out of even Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, just pick one that you best feel more comfortable with. I like AMD. I like the way that trades. I like Apple, so Apple is one that I will watch as well. Again, these are all trading with the stock. Apple tends to have a very clean price action, right? So, and Apple is interesting because Apple's been struggling big time here at 325. Obviously, we're dropping because of the SPY, but it's one stock that trades very clean. Tons of volume this morning. All right, so I'm not gonna go through Roku. I'm not gonna go through MU. I'm not gonna go through Nvidia. I'm not gonna go through BYND. Let's look at some of these like LK. Let's see what LK is up to. So LK, it's not looking. Again, nothing crazy besides some of the stuff that we have already. It doesn't have great volume. You don't have units for short on this one. At least I do not. So just be cautious on this. You want to be able to trade something that we can trade both ways, right? All right, so let's see if we find anything else that's in. See, oh, sorry, like we go over here. Baba, Amazon, Facebook. I mean, guys, INTC, all these stocks are all on Norm. Any significant news that we should be looking at on any of these?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing to weed down the pack, and it's kind of unfortunate. We're at the tail end of earnings season for fourth
Mm-hmm.
quarter right now, and there's not a whole lot. So
Right.
I'm actually I'm looking at earnings this morning to see if I'm seeing anything, but I mean, it takes a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I haven't found anything all that impressive yet.
Yeah, I don't see anything here that's that's
The things the like CRI, for instance, reported earnings this morning that were weaker than expected, and it's got no volume. So
mm,
everything's everything's coming in. Uh, Everything's really just gapping down with the market. I'll tell you what's a little bit astonishing though is some of these really high flyers. I mean, um, uh, I'm trying to Apple, for instance, or especially Facebook, which I wouldn't call a high flyer recently, but some
mm-hmm.
of these are. The market's down 2.5%. Their beta's usually runs about two times the market, which means if the market's down one, a lot of times they'll be down two.
Right.
Uh, and we're not. Some of these are stronger than I would think they would be. Apple's holding up a little bit better than I would think it would be, considering the
Mm-hmm.
hell of a run it's had over the last 12 months. So anyway, I'm picking through slowly, and I'll come up with some afterwards. If
Yep.
you guys
Yep.
see anything specific, throw it out as well.
Yeah, when I'm looking through some of these stocks now, I looked at Roku. I like Roku. I'm looking through stuff that can possibly be breaking some kind of a great level of support. For example, Roku on here, it broke this level. Yes, we know it's the market dropping it, but if you're breaking some kind of level, it can create
Yeah.
hopefully a better pre-market activity. I'm sorry, better open activity. So here we have a breakdown of this great level of 120. So I like Roku. I'm gonna put Roku down here because I think that can create some kind of movements at the open, right? And we actually looking at the pre-market activity on Roku now. This looks very good. We have some great volume here as well. So we'll keep Roku on here. I'm looking at BYND, just kind of see where is what daily chart looks really good, that we're kind of breaking some kind of area of support that we might be having over the last couple of weeks that we haven't been able to break, that now we're breaking. So here's BYND. BYND is not really breaking that level. Yes, kind of still holding on there. So we have this level from BYND that we've been holding on since December somewhat, right? We did below it a little bit, and we were able to come back. So if BYND can break that level, that can be also another nice short. I'm not going to add it on here. I definitely like the way Roku is looking here opposed to BYND. If you look at MU, it's probably going to look very similar to, whoops, that's not it. MU's, yeah, very similar to AMD. So I'll keep AMD on there. IRO has a nice drop as well. If you look at this one, this is a beautiful drop here, but this is a foreign stock. Again, look how choppy. This doesn't trade very well. So this would have been a good one to watch. It's dropping 6%. But again, just pre-market and everything's not looking all that exciting. So I'm going to skip on that one. Let's go through this. AAL. This is American Airlines. This could be interesting
Yeah.
too, on American Airlines, because they're directly affected with this corona stuff with travels. So again, a lot is dropping here because of the market. RE 5.7. We're barely holding on to this level here, but they can be really affected by this big time. So I like that. I'm gonna put them on here. They don't have the best volume. They don't have the greatest pre-market activity, but I think they're one of the players that can actually get more affected than anybody else. Um, let's look at Bank of America. I'm not gonna look at because we know that doesn't trade very well. Let's look at some of these lower ones. PDD this morning, not looking great. It's got great volume, but not great pre-market activity. XOM, it's not looking all that good neither, so we'll skip that one. Facebook, we looked at Amazon, we're going to skip. Baba, we're going to skip as well. Again, pretty much with the market. JD doesn't have great volume. See, on a day like this, you want to have stuff that has great volume, so we'll skip JD. Disney down quite a bit, no volume, so let's go through the volume here. Apple has volume, we have that one. Piton has volume 862, but again, just not all that great
So
right now.
I'm gonna throw out a
Yeah.
few to you, and I'm actually Bank of America. I am gonna keep on mine. I hate trading it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't move very much. But Warren Buffett let out his annual shareholder letter, and
Mm-hmm.
he's been on the TV. He's been on with CNBC all morning. So they increased his position in Bank of America and cut Wells Fargo. So there's one reason for that. I'm going to keep on there. Netflix, it's one of the few things this morning, despite being down 3.8%, it's actually trading over its pre-market VWAP. If
Yeah.
people,
Yep.
if a bunch of people are sick and this turns into the Spanish flu of this century,
Mm-hmm.
Netflix could benefit from people being trapped inside their houses. Same rationale, Zoom, ZM, it's had a massive run recently. Since this coronavirus news, beginning of February, it was, or the end of January is about $70. It's up 50% almost since then.
Mm-hmm.
As of the end of last week, I'm going to have my eye on that because if people can't travel, they're going to have to meet somehow. And Zoom's a perfect way to do that. CCL, I don't think I mentioned that. Somebody called that out in YouTube. That's an excellent one. Who in the
Yeah.
hell wants to get on a floating germ container with 5,000 other people?
Exactly. This is one that's gonna get, just like American Airlines, is one that can get really affected
Yep.
as well. So definitely worth watching. Um, what else we have in here, guys? Anything else you guys have seen that, just like Norm mentioned, that might have some news behind it, some separate news aside from what we already mentioned. Let's look at Snap here. Snap is down. That's decent pre-market activity on Snap. I just don't like the way usually this one trades. Microsoft. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft is good too. Again, I put Microsoft in the list of the AMDs, Teslas, the Apples, the Rokus, right? It's very similar to that. I mean, on a regular day, guys, this right here will be just the perfect stock. Now, I like the fact that we're getting some really good movements pre-market. We got the volume. A lot of stocks have the volume, but they don't have a great pre-market activity. And Microsoft does have that. Any specific news on Microsoft, or it's just same thing with the market, overall
Uh,
market?
I have not seen anything
Mm-hmm.
specific on Microsoft this morning. No.
All right. So again, this list can be extremely long. We're not gonna uh, add more to it right now. Let me see what else, guys. Just gonna go through this list and see if we have anything else that looks interesting. How about CGC? What are those pot stocks doing during this time? This stuff should be going up. People are stressed. They should be, buying more pot or something. This should not be a dropping
Just
today.
just don't pass the joint with your friends.
Right? Yeah. Don't pass it. So this should increase stuff because now you're not sharing, and you're
Yeah,
buying
you have to do your own.
individual bags, right? So it
Yeah.
should increase sales. All right. Let's look at uh, I love how we said that so serious. I'm laughing. All right, let's look at what else do we have here. I think that's it, guys. Again, it's gonna be a very tough day. It's not gonna be easy to find stocks that are gonna be in play here. We got to be very careful, and we have to keep an eye on the SPY. And on a day like today, I might wait 15 minutes before taking even the first trade, unless I see something just incredibly like obvious and blatant that okay, this is a great opportunity. For example, TVIX is again, it's probably one you want to watch today. It could be a great scalping day for TVIX, depending how the market does, right? So again, that's the type of day it's going to be. Is already almost getting close to 9. So unless you guys have anything else, and again, I'm gonna go to both chats and see what you guys have. Let's make sure we're picking something that you might have some news behind it, some fundamental news separate from what's going on with the entire market. So I just want to look over here in our YouTube channel. I see some people are mentioning PCG, so I want to take a look at that. See what's going on with PCG. So PCG doesn't have great volume right now. PCG, man, slowly but surely, really making a move here, trying to get back up there. So it's a stock to definitely keep an eye on. I do see that we have a possible nice breakout here on the daily. So PCG is interesting. Maybe not today because the market might hold it down, but this could be one that we might want to watch tomorrow and later this week. I mean, the breakout here is winding up nicely between the 17 and the 16 level. And the few times we have done this consolidation has broken out very well. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Let me see what else we have here. NIO. Let's take a look at that. So NIO this morning. This is not on our gappers list, at least. NIO, yeah, not great pre-market activity though. And although it has 1.9 million shares traded, this is a stock that can trade that type of volume and really not be in play. It's a very weird stock, but we have traded it before in the past successfully. But right now, this pre-market activity is not looking all that great. And to read the action on NIO is very difficult. Also, the price action, which is something that's very important to us. Let's look at work. Work is on our gappers list. Not doing much this morning. I don't see anything significantly different. I'm not sure there's any news behind it, but again, nothing too exciting on work right now. We had a great trade last week on work. So again, one to watch later this week. CODX. I see both chats mentioning CODS. Let's take a look at that. This one is a possible breakout here. What kind of stock is this? Is it a low float? CODX. Let's take a look here. Yeah, 15 million shares float. Again, this one has a possible breakout. I've seen you guys trade in the past before. I don't trade, not usually, I don't trade low floats, but you can see you got a possible breakout and you have an area you can reach for 420. So if this thing gets going, it has the potential. It's starting to get the volume here. It has a decent pre-market activity. So definitely worth watching if you're in the low flow team. Yeah, so a lot of people mentioned Microsoft. We can keep Microsoft on here. Let's take a look at it again. We'll go through it. See, the issue with with Microsoft is it trading on its own right now. Though it looks like it's really active on its own. Look at this drop here with the volume, right? So that's a lot of volume. I like that what's happening there. Let's take a look at the SPY. Is the SPY doing the same thing or what's going on? If the SPY is not doing the same thing, it's not following the SPY. Microsoft could be. Yeah, see, Microsoft, but SPY's not dropping like that, but Microsoft is moving nicely. So, yeah, I think Microsoft is worth watching. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Microsoft. This is a great pre-market activity. Even with the SPY dropping, it seems like they're doing their own thing. It just seems that way with this type of volume. Again, it comes back to losing some of these levels. So it looks like they're in the verge of possibly losing this level here that was prior resistance. So if it loses that level, aside from what's going on with the market, this thing could give you a beautiful drop to another level down here. So 320. So that's worth watching. Look out for that too, guys. If you see something with that's getting ready to lose some kind of level, let's take a look at that. Let's look at Lyft. See what Lyft is up to this morning. Again, Lyft is interesting as well. This has a light volume, but just look at here. We lost this level also. So Lyft is going to be one that it looks interesting as well. We do have also a possible breakdown here. It's barely holding on to this last area of support that we had. Beautiful drop. Took off, went as high as 55, and now we're right back down to it. So again, with the help of the SPY dropping, if it loses that level, the Lyft can be interesting, guys. So I know I have way too much on here, but I'm going to throw Lyft on there. I like the way that looks. Again, things like that where they're breaking some kind of level of support, kind of like Roku did. Roku broke that level. This is interesting to me because we can have some potential. The SPY can help us, get this towards lower levels after some people that probably might have had their, long swing traders might have their stop here. It's not holding. They might be bailing out of this and we might get a nice momentum towards the bottom here. What else we have? Apple. So Knox is telling Apple's buyers at 300 is pretty obvious. Yeah, Apple hasn't dropped much. I mean, you could really tell it's dropped a lot, but it hasn't dropped much in the pre-market. It's actually bouncing back in the pre-market. So you had your drop at 298. And it's bouncing back from here as well. One of the key things I'm going to be looking for too is that some of these stocks that have no reason to be down here. We've seen that before, right? So Apple's been pretty strong. It's been bouncing off this 320, really much consolidating right in here back and forth. If the SPY starts, not squeezing, but heading higher, right, for whatever reason, starts going back up, a lot of these companies that have no business being red today, you want to watch out for them. If they've been doing well over the last couple of days, they can really bounce back, and it could be a great bounce back day. I'm not saying that's what was going to happen, but look on stuff like that, especially like a space. The company has been doing very well, so it could be a possible bounce back day for them. Also, Tesla, same thing with Tesla, guys. I'm gonna keep an eye on Tesla.
Tesla's my number one today because of.
I agree. It's gonna be my number one today as well because again, just look how this has been trading. It's been really strong. It has not given us any reason to be weak on this. All right, guys, let's get to announcements. Let's do that, and we're gonna come back to this list, and we're gonna take a lot of stuff off from here. Obviously, we have a very long list, and today's going to be pretty much what is the market going to do at the open.
Guys on YouTube, we've got some exciting announcements, so don't run away too fast. Something we haven't done before for y'all. So, excuse me. So this week, weekly rundown as we normally do. I'm sure Brian will be doing a swing trade discussion at 2:30 p.m. Eastern today. He's going to have a ton to talk about, so I'll be excited to hear that. Also, Class 1 onboarding tonight at 8 p.m. with my man Carlos over there. Every Tuesday and Thursdays, Eamon's trade review at noon in the classroom. And then we're going to have part 2 of the success webinar for lifetime members at 8 p.m. in the lifetime classroom. Side note there, we are going to be broadcasting part 2 live on YouTube. It will not be recorded. So you can, You can watch it on YouTube. We will not keep the recording there, and it'll be in the Media Center for lifetime members after the fact. But anyway, take a look at that if you can. Sorry, man, I'm choking this morning. All that dry air in airplanes this weekend. And that's what I got there. All right, so next page. Guys, we're doing something we have never done before. We're offering a 2-day free trial to the chat room. Usually you have to, even with the discount, pay $24 for a week's access, which you can still do if you want a week. But 2-day free trial, use the promo code PM free, like pre-market free, PM free to come into the room. It works all this week. So you can sign up for it today and get 2 days. You can sign up for it any day this week. I guess if you sign up Friday, it'll only work for 1 day. But anyway, we'd love to have you come in and see if you enjoy it. Upcoming success webinars, like I said, we've got Ed Martin from Average Joe Trading doing part 2 of the trend trading series on Wednesday night. Upcoming meetups, and we just had amazing reception to him from last week. So I'm sure we'll be packed. Upcoming meetups, Andrew's still trying to get to Dubai at some point this month. Not sure how that'll work out with what's going on around the world and travel and the virus, but anyway, check out the forum post. DAS Challenge is the ramp up to it is going on now. The spin the wheels boot camp, whatever you want to call it, kicks off in March. Officially, the part where it's the actual competition, you can use the promo code BBT15 to get $15 off your registration. As I said, you can do the 1 week chat room discount for the trial for the chat room. Use the promo code premarket24. Does not auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Still got the Valentine's Day discount going on. It's 40% off single payment lifetime membership. Use the promo code LOVE. And then there are Twitter handles, which we've been pretty active with. I mentioned last night at about 6:20 Eastern that I thought this might be a bloodbath today based on the opening of the ES last night. So keep an eye on our Twitter handles there, at Bear Bull Traders for Andrew, at Carlos M BBT, and at Norm BBT.
All right, excellent, guys. Looking forward to seeing a lot of our YouTube guys in that chat this week. So that'll be exciting as well. It's a great way to see if this community is a fit for you. It's important to be able to try that out. So, all right, guys, let's take a look at what we have here. So first, I'm gonna make a little bit more room towards the top because I want to kind of identify some of the ones I want to keep on here. I think some of the top ones I want to be watching. Just make a little more room here. First one is going to be, just going to remove these two for now. It's going to be Tesla. I think Tesla is going to be one that we want to keep an eye on. So we'll keep Tesla up here. All right, so Tesla is good. I want to keep an eye on that. Let's remove it from down here. I want to keep an eye on Apple and AMD. I think these two are going to be my kind of like my tech sector type stocks to watch this morning. They can trade very well with the market. And I think both of these stocks, besides the Friday, right, AMD and Apple, both been doing very well. If the market's going to bounce back, I'm going to be looking for these to take off here. So those are two I'm going to be watching. Now, going back down, let's just remove some of these so I don't go over them again. So Tesla, AMD, and Apple, I'm going to have as my three top ones to watch this morning. mRNA, just again, even on a regular day, guys, this does not look good. This is not a great pre-market activity. It has some potential. It is up this morning, 3.2. One of the few stocks that are green besides some of the gold ones that we have here. I'm going to unfreeze this now. Just go to the top and see if anything else is showing green. So I'm not going to really watch this one. Don't like the way the pre-market is looking at the moment. So we'll take that one off. The BLDP, also same thing here, guys. Not great pre-market right now. On a regular day, this would be nice. But again, just not going to be watching this. I'm going to take this one off also. Space is interesting. I think it has potential. So we'll definitely watch Space. We'll throw that on there. Let's take it off from here. Let's see Roku. I like Roku as well. I'm going to watch Roku because I think Roku has lost a good level of support here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on Roku. Let me see. American Airlines is a good possible for me. Bank of America, I was not going to watch it until Norm mentioned what's going on in the back behind the scenes with them, with the news. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this one. CCL this morning. What do we have on CCL? This one here is, again, worth watching as well because this is definitely impacted with the news. Microsoft, I like Microsoft's pre-market activity, guys. This is looking very, very well. So I want to keep an eye on this. We're sitting right at a level of support and resistance. here and here. So I like the way that's set up. And then Lyft lost this great level of support. I like the daily on Lyft. So again, pre-market is not great. Maybe this will be a good possible for today, but I do like the way that is setting up this morning. Now I want to go back to some of the ones that some of the stuff that we looked at earlier. Guild is a good possible. Okay, I think this one is up this morning. Great pre-market activity. I think this is probably one of the best stocks in their category, so I'm gonna throw Guild on here as well. Some of the low flow stocks this morning. ENLV is very active. Not the best pre-market activity now. Hasn't gotten any better there. And NNVC also. This one is probably the best one to watch this morning. Look how great this pre-market activity is forming here. We had a nice drop. We're getting above VWAP now. And we're doing it in a very clean, nice fashion. Look at the breakout there. Nice breakout. Comes back and retests. And possibly not trying to break out of this level again. This is clean. This is what you want to see. Good volume. 870. You know, for a low flow, this is trading very clean. Also, I know this daily looks all over the place, but you do have potential. This thing has run up before when it has volume. So if you get volume, you are going to get some movements and possible breakouts out of this low flow. So I think that is the low flow of the day, guys. I'm going to remove the other one. NNVC is one that you should definitely keep an eye on. All right, any other ones that we looked at that looked great? I think that was it. Norm, any other ones that that looked great that I might have missed here on this list? Norm might have stepped out to get some tea there, but I think this is I think this is a good list. So let's do some levels, guys. Let's go Tesla. So we have obviously towards the top, guys, plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last two trading days, and Tesla continues to hold on this moving average. So interesting to see, are we going to lose this here or not? All-time high sitting around that 970 still. So we're going to mark that down just to have that as reference. Towards the bottom, guys, our lower pre-market right now, I'm going to mark it even if we lose it, 838. And the reason why I'm going to mark it even if we lose it now is because you have a great level here and here, support, resistance. This is a great level. So you want to have that down on your list no matter what. Also, there's a 9 moving average right on there. So keep an eye on that. If we lose that, we have another level here towards 813. Several days using that as resistance. 1, 2, and 3 right on there. So keep an eye on that. Obviously, this moving average here is going to be important, so I'm going to mark this down as well in case we lose. That could be an error. We can find some support. You also have several days, if you draw a line right on there, several days supporting that as support and resistance, right? A lot of support in these 3 days here, resistance on this 1 day there. So you want to mark that down, also where your moving average is at. So that's what we have for Tesla, guys. I think this is one to definitely watch. This stock has been really, really strong. There's no reason to be down here now, but again, the market is pulling it down. If we lose it, we have some good levels to go for, and if we start bouncing back, it can be great as well. My Apple is also going to be a great indication of the SPY today. See what the SPY does. This will be reacting to it. So 297 low of the pre-market. And then we have 303 is the high of the pre-market this morning. Towards the top, plenty of levels, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Do not need to add any more on there. Towards the bottom, if we lose this level, this is a very clean level. I love these type of levels where they are usually resistant, right? They come up, you have the resistance of consolidation for 3 days trying to break above this 292. Then when you do break out, right, you create another level and you come back down and test it one more time, right? And it's funny how you test it right at that moving average as well, and then you bounce back. So that 292 could be an area where we can, if we drop down, we can have a loss of momentum or a possible target to get to. Here is AMD, guys. I like the way AMD has been trading over the last couple of days. It had a couple of choppy days, but lately it's been trading somewhat decent the last 2 or 3 days. So high of the pre-market sitting at 50.70, so we'll mark that down. The low is also sitting right at a level, guys. So I'm going to mark what the price action is right now. If you look at that, you have several days. This pack here, using it as resistance, and then this pack here using it as support, right? So you have both on that, and then you have some consolidation happening here, opening and closing around this area. Nice little pop-up, comes right back down to that 48.65 where we're at now. And also you have a nice moving average right up here, right at 48.65. So we're going to mark that down. We can lose that, and if we lose it, guys, if we lose this low of the pre-market, you still want to keep that on here because it can be a very important level throughout the day today, depending how things are going to move. Another great level below that is 46.35. Again, the bottom consolidation of this of these 4 days on here, 46.35. You can see try several times to break that, did not. Try several times to break the above, it did not. So you want to have those 2 levels on there. All right, so we got plenty on AMD space, guys. This could be the sleeper, man. Doesn't have great pre-market activity right now compared to everything else. Like if you look at Apple, you look at AMD. These guys are really moving, really active with a nice flow to things. This one doesn't look as great, but it does have potential, man. This thing has been so strong, and we do have a great level that we can get to. This 2885. I'm gonna mark down here. Our low of our pre-market is slightly above that, so we can mark that there at around 29.31, but this 28 is important. You want to have that on there. That's the last area of resistance and support before we had this breakout, right? So if we can hold it, that'll be great. If we can lose that, also will be great for a possible short play if we have inventory to short this, because this stock is not easy to get available inventory to short. The next level, if we lose that, is the next moving average, 24.71. We had this nice green bar here. Right, so there's no levels in between here, significant levels. The next one will be 24.71. Roku, guys, definitely one that I love. We lost this area of support that has been support for a very, very long time. That's too much. Let's bring this back down. So right on here, guys, huge support. You know, we've been seeing that over the last couple of months, and then, you know, doing all this craziness up here. Comes right back to it again, bounces back, sells down, holds stops again at this on this 120. We have lost that today. What's going on? So we're gonna mark the high of the pre-market sitting at 115.77, and then the low is where it's at right now, which is important because if you go back to these couple of days right on here, it's sitting right at the resistance and the support of these days, right? You see the resistance right on here for 4 days, and then also the support. So 110.58. You got to keep that on your list. So towards the bottom, guys, we do have 104.65, and then all the way down here, the base, when this thing really dropped. You guys remember that we had a lot of fun with Roku on this drop here. I mean, this thing went up nicely and then lost in a couple of days, found this 98, and then took off again. And during this intraday, we had some really good trading days. So again, looking forward to see what Roku is going to do. I think this is a great stock to watch. Doesn't have as much volume as some of these other ones where they're at 1.2, 1.1, you know, 1.3, 700, but the daily and the pre-market is looking very interesting. American Airlines is going to be a possible for me, so I'm going to move it down here. These guys are directly affected with what's going on, so I'm going to move them down here today to see how they react at the open, see the hidden turbo breakup and turbo breakdown. I think that our scanners are going to be probably going crazy this morning, especially turbo breakdown if the SPY starts dropping some more. So again, I'm going to be very patient at that open, even wait 15 minutes if I have to, wait for things to start trending. Trading that first in that first 5 minutes could be very, very hard today, very choppy, so just be careful, okay? So some levels here for American Airlines, 25.37, a great level here, nice area of support and changing direction. 24.71, a great area of support and changing direction as well. So you want to keep those two on there. Above that, guys, don't need to add. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days have you covered with some good areas of support and resistance. Let's head down over to Bank of America. So Bank of America, let's remove some of these levels we have here. Again, kind of low of the pre-market, really close to this support area here, 32.76. So let's mark that down. Above that, high of our pre-market, also it's at an area of support and resistance. You can see on here as well. Very nice, 33.57. And then above that, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So we'll keep that on there. If we lose this 32.76, another great level right on here. As you can see, you have the resistance that then becomes support, nice breakout, and then towards the bottom too, you got a decent daily chart also here. Another level here at 31.41. Again, Bank of America does not move that much, but today they have some news behind it, so it could be a great mover today. CCL, guys, this one is dropping, has probably the worst pre-market activity out of all our stocks, but again, this is Carnival Cruise Line, so you want to keep an eye on what is going on here. Look at the drop we have had on Carnival, and what I like about it on the daily that we have lost this area of support, which has been somewhat support for a very long time on Carnival. So we're slightly below that now. The last time we did below it, we were able to get up above it again. And with all the news that's been going on, we have not been able to break this 41.50 looks like. Today we are below it, so definitely worth watching this one here. So we have 40.03, and then we have towards the bottom our low of our pre-market sitting at 38.91. Just want to see, do we have anything below this 38.91? Probably some time ago. I'm going to, here we go. All right, so back in 2014. Again, this is very, very old. Last time we've been here, but these levels are still good. Let's look at 38. And you also have a great level here at 35. Yeah, I don't think we'll get there unless something significantly goes wrong this morning. But 35.85 is a great level on the daily, and also 33.19. All right, so let's get back here. So then Carnival, guys, a good one to watch. Again, this one doesn't have the best pre-market activity, so I'm going to put it down here next to Apple. I'm sorry, not Apple, American Airlines, CCL, for a possible play later on today. Microsoft, guys, still has a really good pre-market activity. So Microsoft is a stock that has been doing very well. They're taking a hit, but it just seems like they're really trading on their own this morning. So let's mark down the low of the pre-market, 168.63. You can see here how that was resistance and so much support. Didn't quite get to it when it broke down. Was able to recover a bit, but again, that 168.63 is going to be a great level to have. Below that, guys, you have another area. Again, you have these breakouts, right? The resistance happening here, breaks out, comes back and retests, and then you have another breakout here as well. So 164, and then all the way down here, 160, an area where you have some support, breakout, same situation. On this day, actually, you came back and retested that, and then you took off again. So 160.35 worth having on there. Our high of our pre-market, an area where we tested before, 173.79, basically 174. You can see the area here of resistance on Microsoft. And then we have Lyft. Lyft also, another one that has, let's remove these levels, has lost this great support here. So we're down towards the bottom, one of 43.50, high of the pre-markets, mark that down. And then the low of the pre-market, I'm going to mark this one here. I know it's not exactly the low, but 42.24. You want to have this one on here because you had a major support here happening after we lost this previous day close, which has been a really important level here. Previous day close sitting at 44.70. 70, that's been a great support resistance for this stock, so you want to have that on there. And then towards the bottom, guys, you do have this great level down here, several days bouncing off of that 40.77. Beautiful bounce off on Lyft. Apple, I'm sorry, not Apple, American Airlines, we went through. CCL, we went through. GILD, also very active. I think it's worth keeping an eye on this one, guys. High of the pre-market, 75.95. Our low of our pre-market sitting at 74, 80, 84. So we'll mark that down. Let's go here to the left and see what we have going on. If we have anything good on here we go. Let's get some levels above that. So we do have this one on here at 76, and then all the way up here at 79. Again, not my favorite stock to trade, but pre-market is looking amazing. So you want to keep an eye on this one and see how this is going to trade today. NNVC is a low flow off the day. Oh man, look at this beautiful breakout, guys. Right, consolidates, breaks out, comes back, retests the VWAPs and all the moving averages, and then you have the nice little play there. Not sure if anyone watching that type of play that trades pre-market took that, but if you did, definitely share that with us on Twitter, tag us, because that's a beautiful trade. We do have a level right on here that we just broke out of, so I'm going to mark this down. This is at 1028. So 1028, you have several days using this as support and resistance, so I threw that on there. Pre-market's a little bit higher, but I think right now this level is going to be more important than the pre-market high as it continues to break through that. Above that, you do have a level right on here, 1284, another one on here, and then obviously this one and this one will be levels of potential areas where this thing can get to. So again, great volume right now. Look at the volume increase, guys. This thing's breaking out nicely of that 1028. Let's see if it can hold and what it's going to do next on there. All right, what else do we have, guys? I think this is plenty for right now. Let's go through this list. Yeah, plenty. Twitter's on here. I see Twitter's coming up. QCOM is on here. Again, whatever your favorite stock is, just pick it, and I'm sure it's going to be on this gap.
It'll be
list.
on the list.
It'll be on this list, you know. TRY is on here. Again, we discussed that earlier. We're not sure why this is gapping down. These stocks should be gapping up. STM is on here. Again, whatever you pick, SQ, everything is on here this morning. TS is foreign. Pins, see what Pins is up to. What's going on with Pins? Hold on. All right, here we go. Again, not great pre-market activity, so I don't see much going on here. On NNVC, should we expect a new 52-week high? I don't know. Anything's possible. This thing is ripping nicely. It's got great volume, guys. It is a beautiful pre-market activity. Anything can happen, and it's no stranger to hitting these numbers pretty fast. Look, it went from $4 over here to 14, and then it went from what is this, 11 to 17. So again, it has the potential. It really does.
A wild ride.
Yep. But again, just be careful, guys. That is a low flow stock, so you want to be very cautious. What is the float on that? That's an NVC. We're looking at 2.2 million shares of float, so extra caution with that one. All right, guys. So again, out of this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is actually tiny compared to our gappers list today. My favorite, Tesla, Apple. I like Apple and AMD are gonna be my two that are gonna replace Nvidia. MU. What else is on here? All these other stocks that we watch on a regular basis. We do have Roku. Again, JD, we have Baba, we have Disney, QCOM, all these stocks. You can pick a few of those that you like to trade within your price range. You can watch those. Spaces, I have it on here. I'm gonna move this down to Apostle. It's not one of my favorites trading stock, but if the SPY starts heading higher, this thing can rip nicely, and we've seen what this thing can do, and it's given us some good opportunities to trade it. So I have not traded it yet, but I've seen some really good trades out of space from the community. Here's Roku. Roku is good. I like that one. Bank of America has the catalyst behind it, so I'm definitely going to watch that one. Microsoft is trading very well, very clean, nice, beautiful drop here, holding on to this 168. You know what? In the pre-market, Thor likes to put pre-market levels. I'm going to mark this pre-market level. I think this is a good one. 171. I don't usually do that, but 171.41. It's a good pre-market level. I mean, look at that. It held it. Once it lost that for some reason, you had this drop, and the SPY was not dropping when it was doing this. So that's worth putting on there. That 171.41. Maybe I don't see anything on the daily significantly off that level, but again, I think that's worth having there. And then Lyft. I like Lyft because we lost this area of support, and this could be the sleeper today that can take off. So I'm gonna put this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lyft will be on the secondary list here today. All right, guys, that is what we have. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. We look forward to you guys signing up and seeing what we have going on in the chat room. Come in, see this community is right for you. It's important to try several communities. Don't just try ours. See which one fits your style. And if it does, and if you're trading all day or trading in the morning, you want to definitely join a community and be part of a group of people that have the same goal in mind. So take care, guys. Have a great Monday. And again, be very patient. It's a lot on here. No FOMO today. Wait 5 minutes, wait 15 minutes, wait for the trend to settle. The best trades today are going to come probably from these. If there's a trend that the SPY does, and you're able to catch a good entry on a trend with a good pre-market, not pre-market, with a good activity price action. So that's what you want to hold on for here. The open could be very wild. You don't want to get stopped out and be out for the rest of the day. So be patient. Wait that 5 minutes. Wait 15 minutes. We've seen stocks like AMD. After 30 minutes, after an hour, they put in this beautiful, amazing trend trade, right? They just go take off. They find their flow. They find a moving average, and they just roll. So remember that. Don't feel the need that you have to jump in immediately to make a trade this morning. So take care, guys. Yeah. Trade safe, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern time.
Just like you mentioned, man, I'm gonna my game plan today. I'm gonna go smaller than I usually do, and I'm gonna be more patient than I usually do. So great advice there. Thank you, Carlos. And just a reminder, we've got that first time we've done it, free trial, 2-day trial for the chat room. You can use the promo code PM free to come try it out for 2 days this week.
All right. Excellent, guys. Take care.
Trade safe.